Here, I'd like to welcome Ted from CommuteByBike.com. We have Josh from BikeShopHub.com and Anthony from the Flagstaff Bike Organization. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you very much for stopping.
Thank you.
So, Bike to Work Week is coming up very, very soon. It's May 15th to 20th. We've been chatting about it a little bit, but now's the time to really start thinking about it and gearing up, so to speak, for lack of better words. I've got to come up with a better term, because that sounds like a pun, you know? Gear up. There's so much going on. What do we want to talk about right now? Bike to Work Week. Why should people participate? What are some of the benefits? Go, everybody.
Well, biking is fun. That's the main thing that we want to get out there, and it's also very it's efficient, and it can save you a lot of money on gas. You know, the price of gas is getting very high right now.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And so this is a way that you can stick it to the oil companies a little bit, get on your bike, ride to work, and I think most people will find if they try out riding to work at least a little bit during this week, that they'll probably end up doing it throughout the summer or maybe throughout the rest of their lives. It's fun. You get to see the town in a little bit of a different way. Their parking is way easier than if you're driving your car. Weather's usually good here in Flagstaff, so combine all those things, you have a good time, you save a bunch of money, and still get to work and earn a living. So.
Now, Anthony, what are some of the events that are going on with Bike to Work Week?
Well, it starts May 15th, which is Sunday, with our Bike Bazaar, which is a bike swap. We're going to have a parade downtown. This is all at Heritage Square. Monday morning at 7 a.m. at City Hall, we're going for a ride. Usually we get a proclamation from the mayor that's Bike to Work Week kickoff. Tuesday we've got a cruiser ride in the afternoon. Wednesday is Bike to Breakfast Day. If you're riding to work, there's going to be breakfast stops hosted by local businesses throughout town with free breakfast, so that's kind of fun. And not only is it Bike to Work Week, but it's Bike to School Week, and Thursday is formally Bike to School Day, so we're trying to get kids to ride to school as well.
Cool. Very nice. Very nice. So what, when somebody pulls their bike out of storage, because let's be honest, I'm a newbie, we've talked about this before, what do they need to tune up? Is it difficult to just grab the bike out of the garage? Do you need to have it ready? Because I'm on the electric bike, Josh. What's going on with those?
Right, well, I mean, to start out, there's always the basics, to, pump up your tires, lube up your chain, but, a lot of times there's, if the bike's been sitting in the garage for a while, it's a good idea to bring it into a bike shop or just put it up on a bike stand if you're handy yourself and tune it up. But, with the electric bike that we set you up with, that was kind of ready to go out of the box, and it's there. We should talk a little bit about electric bikes today. Because
no, we will, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. How many people participate in Bike to Work Week usually?
Well, our main event for the whole week is what we call the Worksite Challenge, where we try to get various workplaces, all the workplaces, to register their worksite and then log everybody's commute every day, how many miles. Once you log, you win raffle prizes and things like that. Over the past several years, we've had in excess of 1,000 to 2,000 folks locally actually registering on the site, and we know a lot more are riding. We're really trying to get all those folks to actually sign up their workplaces and log their commutes.
And they can do that at your website, flagstaffbiking.org?
That's correct, flagstaffbiking.org. Click on the banner on the top right now, it'll take you all the details. Worksite Challenge is easier than it might look. We had to make a lot of rules so people wouldn't cheat, but the actual process is pretty easy.
People cheat, really?
Yeah, you can win a free bike. So.
Oh, okay. What are some of the other prizes that you can win?
We typically get a bunch of various raffle prizes from local businesses. We'll have bike panniers and the bags to carry stuff and other bike accoutrements. Sometimes gift certificates for massages or whatever. So we get those small prizes that individuals can win, and then we have three local bike shops, 2 donated bikes and 1 donated a trailer. So.
Nice, very cool. Well, as you gentlemen know, that I've been commuting by bike for the last 2 weeks now and absolutely love it. I rode downtown yesterday to do my interview for CommuteByBike.com, and Ted, we're going to get that up here so everybody can see that here in just a bit.
Great. Now I want to underscore what Anthony said. On CommuteByBike.com, we often talk about the environmental benefits of bike commuting, the health benefits of bike commuting, and then someone will type it in the comments and say, shut up about all that, it's fun. It's fun. And
well, no, it is fun, and I've had fun. I've probably saved $50 in gas, and I'm down a belt notch. No lie, just in 2 weeks, I put on my belt this morning. I'm like, whoa, we're down another notch. That's kind of cool. So it's fun, despite the wind that we had last week.
No, in contradiction to all the people who hate electric bikes, because they don't think you're getting any exercise on an electric bike. Say, yeah.
They have no clue. And see, with an electric bike, for me, for lack of better words, it's kind of like a normal sized person riding around town, because I'm a big dude. I'm currently 100 pounds less than my heaviest weight, and still got about 100 pounds to go, and I think this might be the kickoff here for it. So thanks again for that opportunity, man. I really appreciate that. So you guys want to hang out for a bit? We're going to play a tune and come back and chat a little bit more about biking. Sound good?
Sure.
Sounds good, thanks. Chili Peppers, 103.7 The Eagle Rocks. And Anthony, you were telling me that Anthony Kiedis is a huge mountain biker. Was that it?
That's my understanding. That's
Okay.
what we hear around the industry,
He probably doesn't bike to work around tour, though. So.
Probably not. Big distances in between. There was a band that did that called Bicycle that actually rode between gigs, a small,
Really?
sort of bar band, yeah, but I can't see the Chili Peppers doing that.
No, probably not. So we're chatting about Bike to Work Week this morning. It is May 15th through the 20th. We have Ted from Commute by Bike in the studio. We have Josh from BikeShopHub.com, and of course Anthony from the Flagstaff Biking Organization. So we're chatting about Bike to Work Week. We want to focus on getting businesses to register and everybody participating, because there's some huge prizes to win.
Yes, it's easy to sign up. You go to flagstaffbiking.org, click on all the links that are pretty obvious, and that'll get you to where you can register your work site. Once your work site's signed up, during the week, you get people who work at your workplace to ride to work, and then you take care of logging them in, and then that makes them eligible to win raffle prizes. And then work sites of various sizes can win either a bike trailer from Bike Shop Hub, a specialized Globe Haul one from Absolute Bikes, or a Voodoo commuter bike by Revolution Bikes here in Flagstaff. Those are local shops. So there's some good prizes that can be won by the worksite on top of the raffle prizes.
Nice, nice, very cool, very cool.
Those numbers help us as a bike advocacy group in Flagstaff to get more money through grants with the city to build more bike routes and bike paths, and a lot of those bike paths are multi-use, so even if you don't ride, if you walk or have a stroller and kids, it makes it better for everybody to get around town on foot or a bike.
So the more people that register and participate, the more funding we can get for biking, is that my understanding?
Indirectly, those numbers translate into things like the fact that we're a League of American Bicyclists, a bicycle-friendly community at the silver level, which is kind of a big deal for us, for the city of Flagstaff. So that translates into the local multimodal people who work in the city being able to apply for grants and show there's a need and it's worthwhile. So.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So what else do we want to chat about? I know that there's so much going on, the whole week. Is there any one thing that we want to focus on? I know we've got the free breakfast on Wednesday, is that it?
Yeah, Wednesday throughout town there are various breakfast stops hosted by local businesses. You ride your bike, you'll see them on the bike paths or various bike routes around town, and you stop and they give you breakfast because you're on a bike.
Okay, now I got a question about Sunday, because I'm seeing here on the 15th, the big kickoff downtown. It says the 9th annual Human Powered Parade. I've got an electric bike. Am I going to get razzed on this, or?
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't care anymore. I'm rolling with helmet here now and enjoying it, so I'm cool with that. So.
There are purists out there, but I have to say electric bikes fit. They're legal on bike paths, and that's what makes them a bike and not a motorcycle. So you're in the club, man, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, nice. I appreciate it. And coming from you, that's you're like the president of the club.
No, I'm not the president. I'm just
Well,
I'm board member of the club.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on the radio representing, so you're
The
here.
spokesmodel.
The spokesmodel. Yeah. The Vanna White of cycling.
Cool. So, Josh, you're kind of sitting over there quiet, man. What you got 2 cents you want to put in about Bike to Work Week?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really great event to figure out how to get on your bike. I mean, one thing that Anthony and Ted and I talked about was it's a good way to kind of figure out how do I get back into bike commuting, or how do I? And one of the important things to think about is your route, getting into work, and
That's right.
you don't necessarily need to go on the main roads. It's a good time to think about taking some back routes, or maybe there's a trail you can take along the way to. And there's a lot of good infrastructure coming to Flagstaff.
Explore the urban trail system.
Yeah, there you go. And that's one thing I've been waiting to do. You know, with the wind died down this weekend, I think I'm gonna hit the urban trail system on this ohm over here and take it out and, you know, hopefully not break for you guys. But yeah, it's one thing that you should be doing now is, of course, getting your bike ready. But, you know, when you're driving to work, figure out which ways are gonna be the easiest and plot your biking route to and from work. Because that'll make your commute a lot easier and you're not gonna, you know, get discouraged. You know, I can go through this way and what have you. So it's part of the planning. Is that part of the planning? What else did somebody do for Bike to Work Week? Now, let's say, I know there's a lot of bicyclists that are already good to go and bike all the time. What about somebody who doesn't bike like myself? Well, until the last 2 weeks.
There is actually a local map available. Blue Cross Blue Shield's been paying for the printing for it. The city of Flagstaff publishes it, and it shows the various bike routes and pathways around town. A lot of local bike shops have them. I believe they still have some at City Hall. There's more coming shortly. That map is a really helpful resource if you haven't been bike commuting, and it'll actually open your eyes. Between the urban trail system and various bike routes and other trails in Flagstaff and the Flagstaff proper, there's a lot of ways to get around on foot or bicycle that are really neat. You know, if you live in Cheshire, you can ride the urban trail system all the way into downtown Flagstaff along the Rio de Flag. It's a really pretty quiet way to come to work, a lot better than get stuck in traffic on Highway 180,
Nice.
Fort
Sure.
Valley Road, for example. So.
Okay.
You know, you can get bike maps off of Google Maps or off of, what's the other one? The other mapping?
MapQuest.
MapQuest, thank you. But nothing's going to be better than that locally produced map that you can pick up at bike stores. And I just want to promote commutebybike.com a bit too. There's a section of the site that's a little bit older, predates me, but it's really good. There's a whole commuting 101 section there for people who are just getting started trying to figure out the answers to some of the basic questions. How do you get going if you haven't done this before?
Yeah, love the site, and I utilize it. I check it out and read the articles. Let's talk about commutebybike.com for a little bit. What do you guys do? Give somebody a brief description of the website.
Well, the site is about 5 or 6 years old. I've only been involved with it for less than a year, actually. But it started as a resource for bike commuting news, information, talking about different commuter bikes. And they really front-loaded the website with a bunch of really good articles on how to get started. The whole 101 section. There's a great article called A Slacker's Guide to Bike Commute, where it sort of totally says, don't worry about the tools, don't worry about the tool bag, bring your cell phone. If you run into a problem, bring your cell phone. I mean, those are just great, simple advice that sort of helps you to overcome any anxiety. So beyond the basic how-to information, we also talk a lot about cycling infrastructure, bike paths, bike trails. We also talk about advocacy on the local and the national level. In fact, I went to Washington, D.C. for the National Bike Summit a couple months ago and actually got to visit members of Congress. And that was a lot of fun. We did a lot of reporting on that, and I was hooked. I'd never done that sort of direct advocacy before, and it was great. So you can read about my experiences as a advocacy noob on Commute by Bike as well.
Nice, and that's commutebybike.com. You can see Ted's stuff there, and you can see my ugly mug there, and my guinea pig story. It'll be a continuing saga. I've posted them on our Facebook fan page too. So, Josh, tell us about bikeshophub.com. What's the philosophy behind it?
Yeah, well, bikeshophub.com, we've mainly been an online retailer of specialty cycling products for bike commuting and bike touring. We have a full selection of bike trailers and bike bags, bike racks. We've kind of really started out specializing in that, carrying a lot of the stuff that a lot of local bike shops can't go in depth with.
Sure.
And our newest thing is we're getting into electric bikes a bit, and we're launching a showroom here in Flagstaff that's actually wrapping up at the end of Bike to Work Week on May 21st. We're having our grand opening. That'll be at 12 o'clock at Bike Shop Hub, and we'll be having pizza and just playing music and
nice.
Probably giving out some stuff. So should be a good time, and we're going to be just showing off our new showroom, the electric bikes that we have on display. We have about 5 different models, or 5 different brands, with a few different models of each, and yeah, so it should be a good time.
Nice. Now you guys are located over there on Phoenix, is that the street?
Yep, right
Okay.
South of the tracks on Phoenix, right down past Daratai.
Cool, very nice. I gotta be honest, I don't know if you're getting this one back, but I'm kind of hooked, you know, I really am. I don't know if your goal was to necessarily convert me, but you pretty much have. So congratulations and thank you, you know, very much. So let's talk about the Flagstaff Biking Organization, Anthony. What the purpose obviously is to create awareness and a group for bicycles, right?
Yeah, we actually have a pretty broad program. We do trail maintenance with the Forest Service. We do bike safety rodeos for kids at the local schools. We do bike advocacy throughout the entire city, the county, the Forest Service. And we promote this big event, Bike to Work Week. That's really our title event, our original event. So we have a pretty broad gamut of bike advocacy efforts here in Flagstaff, and we do a lot of work towards that, not just going and yelling and screaming, but actually creating events, putting stuff on the ground. So that's sort of what drives us. I wanted to add something to what Ted said. A couple of things. When you're driving your car to work this next week or so before Bike to Work Week, look at your odometer and see what the distance is. Chances are it's only 2 to 3 miles, which is a pretty short bike ride. Mm-hmm. And keep that in mind, that starting the car up, driving that distance, turning the car off, trying to find a parking space, you may be able to ride even quicker without having to find the parking space and everything, save a lot of money, and have a better time. So those distances in Flagstaff tend to be pretty short for people. It's definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, when I drive my car, it takes me 4 minutes and 30 seconds to drive from my house here to Mom. The other day I tested it and I went, you know, just pedaled my little butt off and, you know, I made it in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So
Exactly.
I'm in the exact same time. I got my workout in. I was ready for the show instead of, you know, sticking my butt in the car, you know, trying to wake up with coffee. And it was really cool. It was good to see that, you know.
Yeah.
So.
We hear that a lot on Commute by Bike, actually. People will comment that biking to work actually saves them time. Even if it does take them longer to bike to work, they don't need to have a membership at a gym. They get in their exercise in the course of this utilitarian task of getting themselves to work.
Well, and you know what's really, really funny is how this came about is I stopped by the shop over there to talk to you guys about Bike to Work Week and, you know, how we could help with the radio station. And I kind of volunteered my services and, you know, I'm a team player. I was going to bike to work and I don't have an electric bike. And I was going to do it. And they're like, Josh, I think you're like, well, would you be interested in, you know, test driving an electric bike and being a guinea pig? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I'm sold, absolutely. Thank you for that opportunity. It's, like I said, I was looking for something, you know, for exercise and just a change of pace, you know, and this is pretty much it, man. It really is. Thank you again. So, is there anything else we want to touch on really quick?
I would like to give a quick shout out to all of our Bike to Work Week sponsors for
Absolutely.
Flagstaff Biking Organization. We got New Belgium Brewing. They're our title sponsor. Bike Shop Hub is our co-sponsor, and then Arizona Raft Adventures, Flagstaff Medical Center, Specialized Bicycles, and Absolute Bikes all chipped in cash to make this thing go off. So we really appreciate that, because without the money, it's hard to get the word out as well as we do. So.
Nice, very cool. So, plot your route, get your bike out, get it ready, because Bike to Work Week is May 15th through the 20th. Ted, Josh, Anthony, thank you very much for stopping by, gentlemen. We'll be chatting again soon. 103.7 The Eagle rocks. Nice. Yeah, we're talking about the electric bike a lot because that's what I've been lent by you, Josh. Thank you very much again. Kind of as an experiment because I'm not gonna lie, man. I need the assist, you know, and that's what's keeping me going around downtown. And it's I now have the freedom to ride a bike around town, and you know, eventually here by next summer, next spring, I won't need the electric bike. You know, that is my goal in life. So that's yeah.
I will attest really quickly, as an avid cyclist, having ridden electric bikes, they're super fun. They make you feel extra strong. So.
No, absolutely. They're very cool.
Yeah, they can also be helpful if you're carrying cargo or you're bringing a bike child trailer or just certain situations they're really ideal for. But they are an investment. A good electric bike starts at around $1,500 and goes up from there. So it's it's if you're just trying to get back into biking, just a normal bike's kind of a good way to just get back in it, and then think about that investment if it's something that you think would help you.
No, absolutely.
And there are a lot. This is a great biking town, Flagstaff. We support a lot of bike shops for a town this size.
Yes.
We have, Anthony, we have 8 bike shops in town.
Yeah, I just have to recount it, something like that.
But when I was in Washington DC a couple months ago, I didn't realize I was going to be front and center doing this lobbying, and I kind of panicked, and I called up and I talked to Anthony the night before, and he gave me a lot of data. And then I did a little, I crammed for my exam the next day talking to the staff members of Congress, and I had great data for them, such as Flagstaff has 8 times the national average for bike commuting. And that's because Flagstaff has this great infrastructure, and because of the infrastructure, we support a lot of cycling, including 7, 8 bike shops in town.
That's very cool.
It's kind of a self-fulfilling cycle too. We have infrastructure, so people go out and use it. And especially during Bike to Work Week, we help gather some numbers during that week of people who are using the infrastructure through our Worksite Challenge. We are then able to feed those numbers back to the multimodal people who in Flagstaff, who then can get money to help further that infrastructure, make it even easier and nicer to commute and walk around town. So.
Nice, very cool. And again, if you're just joining us, make sure you register your work site for Bike to Work Week, and they can do that at your website, which is flagstaffbiking.org, right?
That's correct, flagstaffbiking.org.
And if you missed out on the prizes, you can win bikes and all sorts of cool stuff.
Your worksite can win a bike or a commuter trailer if you're the highest percentage participating site based on size. Check the website for rules. And but we have raffle prizes for everybody who participates. They're eligible to win various raffle prizes donated by local businesses also.
Nice, very cool, very cool. So do we want to touch on the joy bag concept?
Oh, sure, yes.
Without giggling too much?
Right.
People going, oh no, Steve's not going there again. No, I'm not. Explain the concept behind joy bag.
Okay, well, we have this idea. Oftentimes you wake up in the morning and you might have a commuter bike, and you go out to your garage and there's my bike, there's my car.
What am I going to do?
It's easy. Oh, I have a lot of stuff to deal with. Maybe today it's just easier to jump in my car. But we wanted to figure out a way to talk about that, and that's where the joy bag concept came. We said, what's the easiest way to jump on your bike and go? Joy bag.
Joy bag.
So it's really just an idea we're thinking about right now. We're blogging about it at Commute by Bike, and just talking about the ways to make bikes that are as easy to jump on your bike and go as possible. So yeah, it's just getting started. We're testing out a variety of bikes. We're focusing on electric bikes, but it really can be any bike. It's any bike setup that makes you want to jump on your bike, and that's it could be anything from your favorite mountain bike to a single speed but there are some key things that help that, and that's what we're going to be exploring, making sure the more a bike is, the easier it is to lock it up. If it has lights installed, fenders, kickstands, those types of things can really help encourage the use.
Comfort, reliability, safety, familiarity with the bike, just getting people so that when they have a choice in the morning, as most people will, whether to drive or bike, that getting on the bike doesn't seem like an onerous and problematic experience.
Nice, yeah.
A nice thing for folks maybe who haven't ridden in a while, the bike industry has come around a lot on this, and there are a lot of bikes on the market that are built for commuting, riding to work as transportation. So most bike shops are going to have some offerings that are ready to go. It's not like you're going to take a mountain bike and make it into a commuter bike, or take a road bike and strap a rack onto it. So the stuff's out there, and it's pretty cost effective too.
Bikes you can ride in street clothes, no spandex required.
That's good. That's right up my alley, because nobody wants to see me in spandex, man. Trust me on that.
Some people might.
They really not. Probably not. No. Yeah. So what else we want to chat about? Are we pretty much covered? I know Bike to Work Week is coming up May 15th through the 20th. The big kickoff is at Heritage Square on the 15th. There's going to be bike parades. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be bike and gear swap, $10 helmets for kids, bike information, bike yard sale.
Yeah,
Steal your thunder.
That's a great event. Come out to that. It's just a fun time, and we have information on the week preceding that, and then There's various events throughout the week. FlagstaffBiking.org has them all outlined. Check them out. We got commuter rides. We kickoff commuter ride. We got cruiser rides. Ending at Bigfoot barbecue. Bigfoot's going to donate some money back to Flagstaff Biking from that night.
Cool.
That's on Tuesday night. Bike to breakfast day. On your way to work, you can get free breakfast at stops throughout town. And bike to school day. We want kids riding their bikes again. You know, we've got issues in this country with childhood obesity and health issues with kids. Bikes are fun. All of us grew up on bikes. Bikes are a good time, especially when you're a kid. It's your first sort of taste of freedom, being able to ride around town on a bike. So we're encouraging kids to get back on bikes too.
Absolutely.
That's one thing we hear a lot on commutebybike.com is when people just get started commuting again, or just get started using their bike again, those memories of being a kid rush back to them, and that's part of the fun, and that's part of what gets people hooked, because they kind of forgot what it was like to ride on a bike if they haven't done it in years.
I can absolutely relate to that 100%. I really truly can. You know, it's so fun to get on the bike and just cruise around, and you know, it's like I'm, 15 years old cruising through Lodi, just doing my thing. I rode my bike, probably put 10,000 miles on my bike when I was a kid, at least. Just riding all over the place. So
I want to make a real quick plug for folks who are saying right now, you know what, I'm not riding my bike to work that week. All we ask, there will be more bikes on the road. Please drive safely, and for everybody who is riding, please ride safely.
yeah, absolutely. Good point. Thank you, Anthony. Again, Anthony from FlagstaffBikeOrg.com, Josh from BikeShopHub.com, and Ted from CommuteByBike.com. Thank you very much for stopping by, gentlemen. About 30 seconds left. Anything really quick that we're missing here? Somebody, anything?
Get your work sites registered, please, at
Yeah.
FlagstaffBiking.org.
Right on. Thank you again, gentlemen. We'll chat soon. Hey, if you're
Thank
listening
you.
for that Flogging Molly tune, when I play it, if you call, you're number 5, you're going to the show.